So over the weekend, we learned that a billionaire, Robert F. Smith, had decided to pay off the financial burden of 400 Morehouse students. He gave an impassioned speech about the arc of justice and how slowly it bent. And he also talked about it not bending by itself, that we had to push our shoulders against it to bend it. And then he proceeded to do one of the most generous things I've ever seen. Now, a lot of people who give money to college will give it for vanity's sake. They will give it so someone will give a scholarship in their name. They will have a building in their name, things that edify them, that glorify them. He gave 400 students a chip in the game. He gave them a free education. He gave them what college football teams wouldn't have given them. Mm-hmm. He gave them a free ride. He gave them an unburdened financial future. And what he asked for them is to pay it back. Now, what's interesting, imagine if a black man, had done that or had done something to 5 black people. He'd murder them. We wouldn't be able to stop hearing about it on all over the news. It would be a constant barrage of how, and the subtext being that people are terrible, they don't care about each other. This man did something I've very rarely seen someone do. Now, I have seen people give all kinds of money. I've seen black people give money to big universities and have things named after them or buildings named after them or scholarships named after them. This man put these young people in a position where they got a free education. They're not burdening their parents or their future. And what he asked for them to do is to pay it back. Contrast this with the last couple of weeks, we were talking about how HBCUs are in financial straits. Primarily, for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is if you notice that black people are very successful in America, if they're successful, they tend to have gone to HBCUs, so they owe a debt to them. This man, Robert F. Smith, didn't go to one, but he did more in a short period of time than a lot of people who have gone there done. 400 people will be leaving Morehouse unburdened by debt. And the debt that they owe is to pay it forward, to do something because somebody did something to you. It's an amazing thing. We have talked about crime and how bad things were and how many sad things. I've talked about the things that made me angry and the things that have made me sad. What hardens me is human beings like this. This was a selfless act. Many, 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 many generations will learn from this and have a benefit from this. He's giving you the equivalent of your 40 acres and a mule, and it's your job to pay it back. Bravo, Robert Smith. Bravo.